Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kerry Williams. I'm tuning in from Chandler, Arizona. Thanks for checking this out. I was actually introduced to LifeVantage in June of 2010. I had been a retail manager, and these products and this business has completely changed my life. It has been just a massive, massive blessing for my family and so many others. And I'll share more of my story later, but I am so excited that you guys get to hear from Marco Rodriguez tonight. So Marco and his beautiful wife, Diane, they're from El Paso, Texas. They're both occupational therapists. They've been in the field almost 30 years. And back in 2013, they actually started Transformations Rehab Clinic, an outpatient rehab clinic. And it has quickly become one of the largest clinics of their kind in the Southwest. They see a lot of kids that are struggling with things neurotypically, maybe on the spectrum, things like that. In fact, Marco even serves on the board of directors for the Autism Society. And in 2018, Marco was given or awarded a very prestigious award for the University of Texas Medical Branch. It was their 50th anniversary, and he was named the Distinguished Alumni and spoke at graduation. But I have had the privilege of working with both Marco and Diane now for the last few years. And you guys, you are in for a real treat tonight. Marco knows his stuff inside and out. He is so passionate. He has a phenomenal story with what he's seen personally in his own family, what he's seen through his clinic, and other lives that he's impacted. And Marco has a heart of gold, but yet he's an incredible entrepreneur and businessman as well. So Marco Rodriguez, I'd love to turn it over to you. Take it away from here, and then I'll share more of my story in just a little bit. So thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. If you're a guest on the line, we really appreciate you taking the time to just hear what we're so passionate about, get educated, and see if any of this grabs your attention. So go for it, Marco.
All right. Kerry, thank you so much for that introduction. Just the idea that I've been doing anything for 30 years, that's enough to make my head spin. I was thinking about when I had a job like most people, and, I was very fortunate in that I actually did like my job and I was very good at it. But you know what I didn't like? I didn't like the lack of freedom. Now, what I mean by that is, and some of you that still have a job, you might be able to relate to this. I didn't like the idea that someone else controlled half of my life or half of your life. Someone gets to tell you what time to get up, what time to go to work in the morning. They control your lunch breaks. They even control if and when you can go on vacation. Now, I don't know about you, but every time you ask for a day off, it almost seems like you got to jump through hoops and all kinds of stuff. And I guess I just didn't like someone else determining what I was worth. I don't know if anybody else can relate with that, because it always seems like it's less than what I thought I was worth. And I don't know about you, but I just couldn't see myself doing that for the next 40 to 50 years. So, in 2010, Diane and I established a private practice, hoping that by running a traditional business, we would still provide a valuable service to the community, but at the same time, maybe we could make a little more money and possibly have some more time freedom. And we built one of the largest clinics of its kind in the country, but with that come its pros and cons. And if you've ever run a traditional business, you know that in many respects, running a traditional business is like jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. But I knew I absolutely did not want to go back to the rat race of working for someone else. So, what do? Well, by 2018, Diane and I became very open to the idea of starting a second company, but we knew that this one needed to be different. And we liked the idea of and the flexibility of an online or an e-commerce business that you can run from home or really from anywhere. Now, full disclosure, I knew nothing about e-commerce, network marketing. So we knew that it was a good idea to find a company that had a proven training system and simple enough that an INTJ like myself could learn it. I also like the idea of making a living helping people. So we wanted a product line that truly improved the quality of life for our customers. And of course, if I'm going to put my name on it, the product line had to have some serious scientific backing. So after considering several different options, Diana and I decided to partner with LifeVantage in 2018, right? And here's what made this company so special for us. It had to do with the product line. So I'm a science geek, right? And evidence-based and all that jazz. I did extensive research on the product line, and I thought to myself that if this could do what they say it could do, then maybe it would help my son, Seth. Now, Seth is 18 years old. He's my son. But when he was 7, he had a very nasty fall and sustained a serious injury. And after he recovered, he was given, was never quite the same again. He struggled in school, special education for 8 years. But he agreed to give this a shot. And so we followed a very specific regimen for about 4 months. His academic performance skyrocketed so much that for the first time in 8 years, he tested out of special education. Now get that. Now he's a senior and he's in advanced placement getting college credit. So people noticed and they started asking questions. We started sharing this with other people, and then they started seeing results, and then they started sharing with their people. And you know, for the first time, I finally understood what real network marketing was about. It's not about trying to convince people. It's about sharing your experience with people, the story, right? And I can talk about my testimonials all day, but I know you didn't log on to hear about that. So why don't we just dive into the information, and I hope you find it as helpful and informative as I did. So I'm going to talk about both products, and since some of you are interested in becoming professional biohackers, I'm also going to talk about the business. Now, when we're talking about the business, common sense will state that, you know, the results of the product and the business vary. And when we talk about money, it's imperative to know that we're not employees. We are independent contractors. And as such, the income potential varies based upon many factors, including your work ethic, your leadership skills, how well of a team player you are. That's a big one. So I encourage you to look at your income disclosure statement. That'll give you a better idea of what's possible. All right, I hope that made sense. So what we're talking about tonight is a concept called flipping the switch. Now, what in the world does that mean? Well, did you know that inside of your cells, you have over 20,000 genes, and each one of those genes has certain switches that can be turned on and turned off, thereby affecting their ability to express themselves. Now, hang in there. Right? This will make a little bit more sense over the next few minutes. So I want you to think about what's happening in the world around you and how that's affecting you all the way down to your cellular level. From the food and the water, the chemicals, the processed food, the environment, right? The pollution, sun damage, household cleaners, the benzene and the gasoline, the jet fuels. And what about emotional stress? Now, we're not just talking about adults here. It trickles down to the kids. Now, at my clinic, we now see children who have the neuroelectrical brain patterns consistent with an adult stressed out workaholic. And health issues that we thought were once affecting adults are now affecting children. Now, since the Industrial Revolution, over 85,000 chemicals have been introduced into the world. And why is that important to you? Well, think about this. The human body was not designed to process 85,000 artificial chemicals. It was designed to process food, and I mean like real food, organic food. It was designed to process clean, natural water. And it was designed to breathe, you were designed to breathe clean air. And that's how it was for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's only been within the last 100 years or so that since the Industrial Revolution began, that these chemicals have been introduced. So the human body hasn't had the time to evolve or to adapt. In fact, research shows that over 200 health conditions are linked to oxidative stress, the free radicals or these toxins, all this nasty stuff you see here. And the results is that you have a dimming of the lights, or the light switches inside your cells, and it makes things not work as well as they should. The result is that your body starts to break down prematurely. And some of you know exactly what we're talking about. Your immune system breaks down, brain fog. Maybe some of you are starting to feel a little sluggish, maybe bad mood, or you don't have a lot of motivation to do anything. Obviously, stress plays a huge role. and just feeling tired, feeling fatigued. Now, think back when you were, I don't know, 17, 19 years old. What were you doing on Friday night at 9 o'clock? Now, for some of you, you hadn't even left the house yet. Now, fast forward to today. What are you doing on a Friday night at 9 o'clock? Most of you are getting ready for bed. So what happened? Where did your energy go? Where did that youthful zest for life go? Well, what is really happening in our bodies that's causing all of that to dim? And part of it has to do with what's called oxidative stress. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're also going to talk about mitochondrial decline, as well as a decline in the sirtuin activity. And if time permits, we'll cover a few other things as well. All right. Now, it's no secret that our bodies have the incredible ability to keep themselves healthy. Your immune system, white blood cells, the ability to repair damaged tissue, such as cuts and scrapes. And all of that is based in your DNA. So if that's the case, doesn't it make sense to do what you can to leverage those genes and flip those switches on so that your cells function at a higher level? Now, previously I mentioned the word oxidative stress, right? And so what in the world is oxidative stress? So first thing you need to know is that everyone has it. We know it's been linked to over 200 health conditions, but what is it? Well, if you ever take an apple and you take a bite out of it and you let it sit out for a while, what happens to the apple? Right. It starts to turn brown. That's the oxidation process. It's the same process that happens if you take a piece of metal and you leave it exposed to the environment, it begins to rust. Well, did you know that that same process is happening inside of your cells? So what are your options? Well, we know that diet and exercise are a good start, but it does have its limitations. And what I mean by that is that not only is the environment polluted at an unprecedented level, but the nutritional content of food has also declined dramatically. Several years ago, UCLA conducted a study in which they determined that you would have to eat, now get this, 50 bowls of spinach today to get the same nutritional content that you would have in one bowl in the 1950s or the 1960s. So, although diet and exercise are a good idea, just simply not enough these days. So then what are your options? Well, fortunately, back in the early 2000s, a group of scientists created a formula using all natural ingredients that was clinically proven to boost what's called an NRF2 pathway, thus producing over 300 different enzymes, and it could reduce the oxidative stress levels by an average of 40% in 30 days. Now, this caught the attention of the medical community, but it also caught the attention of the news media, in particularly John Quinones from ABC Primetime. Now, if you guys know anything or remember him, he's an investigative reporter. So if he shows up into your place of business, it's usually not a good thing. He's there to debunk whatever it is that you're claiming. So I'm going to show you a short clip. I love this clip. It tells a lot. So I'm going to show you a short clip that shows you exactly what happened back in 2005. All right, so let's see here.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old to find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
All right, y'all hear me okay now? Yep. Hopefully everybody hears me. Okay, good. All right, so in that, here, let me move some of this out of the way. Did we restart the recording? Yeah, okay, all right. So in that recording, or in that video, or that news report, they talked about Protandim, and they talked about how Protandim is made of 5 natural ingredients like ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, cinnamon, and turmeric. But it's not just the ingredients, it's the formula, it's the synergy that's created. So by putting it all together, it's not going here. Oop. Sorry guys, there's some technical difficulties. All right, here we go. All right, so with the proprietary blend, which is patented, I believe it's triple patented now, we're able to reduce that oxidative stress levels. In other words, remove those free radicals, a lifetime accumulation of those free radicals, 40% in 30 days. Now, so basically what you're doing is, by doing that, as John Kiyuna says, literally turning back the clock. And I love that. I started biohacking about 3 years ago. And after 14 months, I went to go get my blood work done. And my cellular age came back at 24.6. And at the time I was 51, I believe. I'm 53 now. So imagine 51 and my cellular age is at 24.6. That was awesome. I feel better. I feel like I'm healthier, I'm stronger. A lot of stuff that, knee pain, all that stuff has gone away. So how important is this whole NRF2 thing? Because a lot of people haven't heard about it. I work with a lot of physicians who have never heard of NRF2. Well, let me tell you, Washington State University, they studied NRF2, and they said that our ability to activate NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic breakthrough in the history of health. Now imagine that. Think about all the discoveries that have been made in science and in medicine, and they're saying that our discovery of NRF2 is up there and may be the most extraordinary breakthrough in history. So, as a science geek, I did all my research. I went into what's called PubMed.gov, which is our National Library of Medicine. I don't go to Google for my research. I encourage you to go to pubmed.gov. And in there, you're going to see a lot of different studies that have been done. For example, LSU in conjunction with the Skin Cancer Foundation, the American Heart Association, Ohio State University, Johns Hopkins. You even have some in Virginia Commonwealth, and even the NIH. They did a study. They did a 10-year study. Now think about this: the NIH, or the NIA, the National Institute of Aging, which is also part of the National Institute of Health, which is our government tax dollars at work. They studied this for 10 years. Now I want you to ask yourself a question: why in the world would all of these universities and all of these research organizations spend thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars of studying this if there wasn't something to it? I mean, certainly I'm sure they've got better things to do than to chase a rabbit hole or go down a rabbit hole. So that's NRF2. So we're going to talk about mitochondria health next. So what in the world is mitochondria? Well, if you go back to junior high school biology, you remember that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Now, mitochondria are very important in your body. In fact, 10% of your body weight is mitochondria, and you have about 100 million billion mitochondria. But as we get older, the mitochondria starts to decline. In fact, the average 50-year-old only has about 50% of the mitochondria that they did when they were 17 or 18, a teenager. And by the time you're 70, you only have about 10% of the mitochondria. And it doesn't take a molecular biologist to see the difference in the energy levels or the strength of a 70-year-old compared to a 17-year-old. So then what are your options to boost your mitochondria? Well, LifeVantage, the scientists at LifeVantage created an NRF1 activator. And NRF1 is a pathway that exists inside of your cells that, when activated, is clinically proven to put your cells into a state of mitochondrial biogenesis. Now, that's just a big word for production of newer and healthier mitochondria. And here's something else to keep in mind. I'm kind of a science geek, but you have DNA inside of the mitochondria, inside of the nucleus, but also inside of the mitochondria. So you're producing newer and healthier mitochondria with newer and healthier DNA. And by doing that, so if you do that, then look what you're doing is you're actually boosting the cells, the power of your cells, kind of recharging the battery. Okay, so that's two of the kind of what I call the theories of aging. The third one is a series or the theory of sirtuin decline. Now, again, what in the world are sirtuins? Well, sirtuins are a type of protein or type of enzyme that exists inside of your cells that really what they do is they clean out the sludge. Imagine if you took out all the trash from your house, but you left it on your front lawn and the sanitation department didn't come by. Now imagine all of the houses in your neighborhood did the same thing. What do you think would happen after a few months? It would really kind of start to stink, wouldn't it? So what the sirtuins do is they come in and they clean out all of that cellular sludge, giving you cleaner, healthier cells. All right. Now, when you combine all three of those, look what happens. When you combine the NRF1, NRF2, and the NAD, they supercharge each other. And the reason for that is because there's a synergy that occurs where above and beyond, if you only did the NRF1 or if you only did the NRF2, when you combine all three, the results are off the charts. So the question is, are you ready to flip a switch? Are you ready to flip the switch to activate those genes in your cells, reduce the oxidative stress levels, clean out all of those, lifetime accumulation of those toxins, boosting your mitochondria, cleaning out the sludge, giving yourself back that healthy feeling that you can get. Now, I love the fact that LifeVantage didn't stop there. They really took that technology and that zest to look for new ways of innovation and activating different pathways in our cell, that they took that same NRF2 technology and they applied it in different areas. So for example, down here you see the True Science Skin Care. That's an NRF2 activated skincare system. And I encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to look at this. Ask them about the LSU and Skin Cancer Foundation study. Okay, I can't go into it tonight, but ask them about that. course, we also have the first NRF2 activated hair care system. And then look at this, Pet Tandem. They even have NRF2 activation for our four-legged friends. I give it to my dog. I think our dog is about 9-10 years old. That she still acts like a puppy. It's incredible. And you know, the great thing about dogs is that there's no placebo effect. You can't convince them that they feel better. They either feel better or they don't. I think one of my favorite products is Axio. Axio is what I gave my son Seth, and I believe that that had a dramatic impact on his brain health. It's an NRF2 activation for the brain. I did extensive research for about 3 or 4 months, which I probably shouldn't have, but on all the ingredients. It's got things like DMAE. It's got the ability. It's got certain ingredients that can boost axonal genesis, even to the point of neurogenesis. I'm not saying that Axio can necessarily do that, but I'm not saying that it can't either. I'm saying that the ingredients in it are absolutely phenomenal. So again, I encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to look at this and ask them to give you a rundown of all the various products. So with this, I'm going to turn this back over to Kerry Williams, who's going to talk about a little bit about the business side. I know some of you were interested in just learning more about the product line, but some of you are interested in becoming professional biohackers. And I tell you what, our life, thank you, Kerry. I really appreciate you and Patsy and spending all of those years, past 3 years. Just before I say this, I just want to say something real quick. I want you to understand that what this means to us, because it took us, we were first approached about this back in, 2010. So that was, I'm sorry, not 2010. What was it? 2015. And it took me 3 years before I would actually sit down and take a look at this. I thought I was too busy or too special or I don't know what. But in 2018, we sat down and took a look at this, and I am so glad we did. So, Kerry, I want to thank you for your mentorship and for everything you've done for us. And I'm going to turn it back over to you so that you can discuss with these folks how to capitalize on the opportunities of LifeVantage as a business.
Awesome. Thank you, Marco. Super appreciate you sharing that. So, if you're a guest on the line, why are you learning about, what Marco talked about has been called the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Why are you learning about this on Zoom, right? So let me give you a little idea of where this company came from. So LifeVantage, the company is actually 11 years old. We're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. We're debt-free. When you look at our board members, it's incredible. But what happened is that ABC Primetime Investigative Report, it actually aired back in 2005. At the time, we were a little biotech company that aired once, and we actually got $5 million worth of orders in just a few months, or just a few weeks. It was actually back ordered for over 8 months. So everybody saw it. They saw that John Quinones, his oxidative stress was reduced by 45% in less than 2 weeks. And people wanted it. But the problem was we weren't prepared. We were run by a group of scientists. And like I said, the product was backordered for months. But the cool thing about that is universities across the world, they saw that, and they knew that oxidative stress was linked to many, many conditions. And so they started researching it. So then the company actually put the product on the shelves of GNC and CVS and stores like that. And it sat there for 5 years, selling less than half a bottle per store per month on average. So the company is on the verge of going under. Nobody knows what this does. Think about, if you're looking at GNC and at the bottle at the time said clinically proven to lower free radical damage. What does that mean to people? And so the company is doing, nothing at that point in time, but yet some of these studies are starting to come in and they're really starting to learn what they had their hands on. So they ended up hiring a consultant and he said, this is a product whose story needs to be told. Stories are better when we share them. And so they actually took this person-to-person distribution back in 2009. And I was actually introduced to it in 2010. Now, at the time, I had been a retail manager. I was a store manager at Bath & Body Works. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. Retail that's all that I knew. My husband's an attorney. He was a commercial litigator and he worked 1 million hours. We had a newborn baby. He was literally 3 days old and we had a 4-year-old. And I don't know if anyone ever feels this way, but I felt like we were ships passing in the night. And I truly felt like if I didn't make a change, the next 10 years were not going to look significantly different from the last 10 years. So when my friend introduced this to me, I watched that ABC primetime report. I'm into health and prevention. I immediately wanted the products, and my mind just started pinging like crazy. If you're like me, if you're looking at this and thinking, well, if this is true, who could this help? And this, what could it do for this person and this one, right? That was me. So then I said, well, tell me more about this business. Who knows about this? And you guys, today I can tell you, unfortunately, this is still a huge secret, and we need to do a better job getting the word out. So like I said, we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. We're doing roughly 250 million, but no one knows about us. So in businesses, timing is critical. Getting in ahead of a trend. Think about biohacking. Think about taking control of your health. Think about being proactive and ahead of the game. Is that more important now more than ever, right? And think about the ability to be able to work from home, to be able to share something that you're passionate about, backed by science. So that's what we have our hands on, but yet there's less than 80,000 distributors in the world. We're open in over 20 countries. And so we need more people sharing this information. So when I saw, okay, oxidative stress is literally linked to everything, every single person has it. Protandim Nerf 2, our flagship product, that lowers it by 40 to 70% across the board, period. And then as we've added more products and impacted different pathways, it's only gotten better. So you're kind of at this perfect storm where it's unbelievable what we have our hands on. The science has, evolved, gotten better and better, but yet still nobody knows about this. And so they took this network marketing, which we're building a distribution network to share these amazing products through. When I was introduced to the concept of leveraged income, that blew me away. Like J. Paul Getty says, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people versus 100% of my own efforts. That's what this business allows you to do. I would not have actually known Marco and Diane personally, but it was one of my neighbors that had been in El Paso, and that's how I met them. So people know people know people, and you can have a much bigger ripple effect by sharing this information. So what I actually found is this is like the perfect business model. If any of you are out there, I want you to know you can have it all. You can have purpose, you can have passion, you can change lives, you can have and build a business that you have freedom, both financial freedom and time freedom as well. I love the fact that you can work from home or anywhere, whether I have my phone, my laptop, things like that. I love that, you don't have employees, you don't have inventory. It goes straight from the manufacturer to the end consumer. There's such a low cost to join this business. You can share things socially. We have a website. All of that is there for us. So I found it was a model that fit perfectly into my life. And what I also realized is, if you believe in something, are you naturally sharing it anyway? A lot of people are basically doing network marketing, but they're not getting paid. Why not get paid for something that you can share and change people's lives? So if you jumped on this Zoom tonight to learn about these products, we are thrilled. I love that 90% of my business comes from customers. I love that customers pay the exact same price that I do. There's no fees to join. Just get with the person that invited you and help. They can help you walk through what's really best for you to take. Marco showed you that slide on the synergy when you take Nerf 2, Nerf 1, and NAD. So it's through the roof results. It's so simple. So I'd really encourage you to definitely start with the Tri-Synergizer. And you guys, Axio has made a massive, massive impact in my life. But get with the person that invited you, figure out what products you want to start taking, and just take them consistently. Now, if you're like me and you say, well, of course I want to take these products, and my husband needs to take them, and my family needs to take them, and what about this one and that? Then think about becoming a distributor. There's multiple ways to get involved. And basically you want to pick a pack and get in where it makes sense. Each pack comes with products. The bigger the pack, the more product and the more that you save. So the silver pack is $350, the gold pack is $650, or the platinum pack gives you everything and multiple quantities of it, and that's $12.50, and it's actually a 35% savings, and that's a one-time purchase. Now, how do you get your return on investment? How can you make income by sharing this? So there's multiple ways to get paid. I won't go into each of them, but what I'll give you just an idea of, again, we're creating leveraged income and income where you're getting paid month after month after month for sharing something once, but you're getting paid month after month if they continue to take it. So that idea captivated me. And we have what's called our royalty bonus. So think about, you're getting paid based on how much product is moving through your group. So you're getting roughly 5% of the volume going through your team on a monthly basis. That's one way that we get paid. One way I'll touch on is also what we call our elite bonus pool. So what the company does is they reserve 4% of gross global sales. And the Pro 7 through 10, which Pro 7 means you've got at least 100,000 of product going through your group on a monthly basis. The Pro 7s through 10s get 1% of that. The 8s, 9s, and 10s get another percent, and so forth. Here's why I love this bonus. So if you are learning about LifeVantage for the first time tonight, imagine the fact that you have the opportunity to get involved now, today. And the moment you hit the rank of Pro 7, you're actually benefiting in the work that's been done since day one. Think about that. I know many of us have been working hard, sharing this like crazy, and you can benefit in that elite bonus pool from the work that people have been doing for years on this. So you guys think about your iPhone. Who out there has an iPhone? What if you could get a fraction of a penny for every iPhone that goes out in the world? That's similar to what this bonus is like. And a lot of people also say to me, Kerry, if this is so great, why have I not heard about it? Well, how many of you had an iPhone 1, 2, 3? Most people didn't hear about the iPhone 4. So you guys, I truly believe we've got our hands on a baby apple, but it's in the wellness industry, and I'm passionate about that. So think about that. If you could go back in time and position yourself in the beginning days of Apple's, that's what you got, but life-changing products. The other thing that I love about this elite bonus pool is it just creates an incredible culture. We are like-minded people. We're going to take this from $250 million company to a multi-billion-dollar company, and we're going to do that best by working together. And this bonus really rewards this. So if you're a guest on the line and you're wondering, okay, what truly is the potential? What are true numbers that people are actually making? Again, I love that we're publicly traded, so everything's an open book. And just to give you an idea, the average Pro 3 means you've got $5,000 of product going through your group monthly. The average Pro 3 is making an extra $626 a month. The average Pro 5 has 20,000 going through their group. They're making an extra 3,100 a month. Who do you know that could make a massive difference for? The average Pro 7's over 13,400 a month. Pro 7's where you start to share in those bonus pools. I'm a Pro 9 with a company. The average Pro 9's over $50,000 per month after month after month. Now, you guys, does it take work? Absolutely. I have worked my tail off, but I was working my tail off for pennies, right? I felt like I was just making peanuts. I was grinding it out, and that was never going to change. So what I found about this model is you're putting your time and your effort in, and we're changing lives through the products. And then you're investing in building teams of people to move these groundbreaking products through. So does it take work? Yes, but it's very rewarding. And I've also found, that you inherit a team of people that go to work together. You're not in this alone. And it's just an incredible feeling. So it's very unlike anything I was ever familiar with. So, a lot of people wonder, so can I do this? Well, you guys, I'm here to tell you, like I said, I was a Bath and Body Works store manager. People jokingly say, Kerry was the lotion girl. So can I do this? Yes. You know what? They told me, Kerry, you've got to have a burning desire, great work ethic, and you got to be coachable. And I'm like, check. I got all those. So I'm asking you that. Are you coachable? Do you have a burning desire? And do you have a great work ethic? So I love that, again, that you are not in business by yourself. There's a system designed for you to follow, step by step. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. There's a simple system like what we call our ITT. We invite people to look at the information. We share a tool like a Zoom, like a video, that kind of thing. We introduce them to the team to get their questions answered. There's regular meetings. There's so much online. There's trainings. There's corporate events, there's incentives, there's perks, there's a private support community. So you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So can you do this? You absolutely can. If you choose to really plug into the system, embrace this, and be an incredible student and take massive action. So where do you go from here? Like I said, if you are interested in taking these products, get with the person that invited you. Start taking them immediately. It only takes a couple of minutes to get your order in. It'll ship out immediately, and then take it very consistently, day after day after day. Fall in love with these products. Or if you say, no, are you kidding? I want to share this with others, right? Then get your questions answered and join the team. Whether you're looking to casually share this with family and friends, whether you're looking to create part-time income, full-time income, or really big-time income, the sky is the limit. That's up to you. So thank you guys so much for jumping on this Zoom tonight, or if you're catching this on the replay. Thank you, Marco, for sharing all of your information with all of us. And we just appreciate you guys taking the time. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody.
I should have enough space in my computer to save